Good morning, everybody. Auronnj here with another Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis video, and it's the last day of closed beta. I want to do the last summons we've been given in this game, and then talk to you about the gacha system one more time. I already did one video on just about how it works. I want this video to be my thoughts on the system, what's important about the gacha, when you're polling, what should you go for, what's more valuable, what's less value, just my final thoughts about the gacha system overall, and I'm going to do my last poll during this because that's fun. Now, first of all, we were given quite a bit of currency while playing the game. I would say we were given enough that it's definitely going to be the equivalent of someone who is spending some money, right? Maybe not like a super whale, but we were given low whale levels of currency, which has been more than enough. Like, I have so many weapons, I could build so many teams. In fact, it's been hard for me to build up all of the weapons I've gotten. However, having that many weapons has not been a useless thing. Definitely when you're thinking about weapons in Ever Crisis, remember this: it is very important to get the good weapons for the characters that you're playing in their 5-star version. That is the most valuable thing you will get out of this gacha overall. When you pull, you get 5, 4, or 3. 5, 4, or 3. Why aren't my fingers working? Anyway, that's weird. 5, 4, or 3-star versions of the weapons. Now, there's not different weapons based on the version. You get, like, take the Buster Sword, for example. When you start the game, you are given Cloud's Buster Sword, but you're given it in a 3-star version. You're also given the material that you would receive if you were pulling duplicates of it that you use to make it into a 4-star version and then into a 5-star version. So very early in this game, you have access to the 5-star Buster Sword, and that is incredibly good because at 5 stars, the ability on the weapons actually changes. What 5-star did I just pull here? Okay, it's going to be a Glenn 5-star. I don't think this is one I've had before. Piece of cake. So there we go. Another 5-star weapon to add to my repertoire right there. And that's a big deal. Let me show you why. I'm going to use this one I just pulled as an example. If I look at piece of cake right here and I look at dual slash, this ability changes based on the star level of the weapon. I don't think I can take the star level down any, can I? No, I can't. So I can't actually take it to a 4-star to look at this, but let's check this out. So this deals elemental damage to a single target with a high critical hit rate. But notice now, defense is decreased as well. That defense decrease probably wasn't there in the 4-star version of the weapon. For another example, let's look at this 4-star sword right here, the long sword. Notice that this does 322% physical damage to a single enemy. If it was to level up to a 5-star, it now gains critical hit rate 20 and goes to 400%. If you were to get it to the red, it doesn't change anymore after that, just gains more damage. So this ability doesn't change dramatically. You're essentially gaining more damage and more crit if you were to collect the 5-star version of the Type 99 longsword. But with Glenn's weapon right here, I believe, gosh, I wish I could take it lower. Let me go try to find, I'll find a different example for you as we go, but I'm going to keep pulling and talking. The gist of this conversation is you want 5-star versions of weapons. That is the most important thing when you're pulling in the gacha. Get your 5 stars. Okay. Now, note here, I want to talk about stamp sheets for a second. I actually finished the second stamp sheet on this stamp sheet banner that's the Cloud and Barrett banner. In my opinion, I should not, if I was playing the real game, if this was live, I would not have gone past the first page in the stamp sheet. And that's going to be a recommendation. Like when this game comes out and I'm doing a video that's basically talking about like my recommendations on what to do in the game, new player tips, one of my tips is going to be, I don't believe you should go beyond the first stamp card in the stamp banners. That first card is where you get the guaranteed pity for the featured weapon, and then at the 12th stamp you get the featured armor. That's one of the only ways of getting armors in the game that we've seen. The story will also give you some. So for example, in the First Soldier story, every one of the characters in First Soldier, even just what we have access to, has gotten an alternate armor set. Awesome. So that's been one way to get it. I'm sure there'll be more than that throughout the story, but that 5-star armor is the 12th stamp on your card. That's a huge deal. Now look right here, I actually pulled a duplicate here of one of Orthodox Raven. This is the second 5-star duplicate I've pulled of this. Let's look at what that's going to do. I will now be able to take this beyond even this level. So this thing is now 440% magic water damage to all enemies. This is just a big AoE weapon. And note how though the power didn't change like the essence of this did not change when I went from 5 stars to the red 5-star version, the like 6-star version, but in this case the potency of the damage went up a lot. So there's just another example of if you already have a 5-star but you pull dupes, those aren't wasted. Those duplicates will help you get more damage and more power out of your weapon, and it also gives more raw stats as well. So that is nice. The level does not go up anymore after you're at that base 5-star version. Just note the potency. Like look at this water potency up. It goes from +6 to +21. So most important thing when you're pulling, get a 5-star copy of the weapon because that is its true form where the abilities do what they're supposed to do. The pulling duplicates after that is still good because you will increase the power of the weapon, although it is not quite as important, at least immediately, as having access to the 5 stars. Okay, the other thing I want to talk about, I mentioned the stamp card. Let me go ahead and show you what a clean stamp card looks like. Now, I never pulled on this one because I wasn't using these 2 characters, but here's what I was talking about. Stamp 6 is the featured weapon, and you can change this, by the way. You can pick which featured weapon you want, and then stamp 12 is the gear, and the gear gives you strength up or physical strength up. Now, your base gear also gives you abilities. These are just different abilities. The way you kind of kit out in this game, your weapons and your gear that you equip change your build. You have access to every character in the game. It's how you build them that kind of specializes in what they do, and then certain characters are better at other things. There'll be a whole tier list video about that, but I would have definitely, if this is your guy, right? If the doctor right here is your guy, and you just have to have his piece of gear, I would pull on this banner until stamp 12, and then I'm out. Now, you do get stamp 12 before 12 pulls. You can see, I talked about this before. 1 stamp is a 50% shot. I hit a 3 on that first pull. That's a 9% shot. You're going to hit that sometimes. Okay, I want to talk about something else when it comes to rates and tickets. So, ticket draw, this is your standard draw. You're going to catch a lot of these tickets throughout the game, and so this is your standard 10 draw. When you look at the draw details and the odds, you'll see that there's a 7.5% chance to pull a 5-star. This is really high, but on just a regular pull where you're not featuring anything, it's a 0.1% chance of pulling the weapon that you want specifically. Like if I wanted organics for Cloud, there's still a pretty low % chance of me pulling that. However, what that means is these specific character tickets are incredibly valuable because the drop percentage for a 5-star is still 7.5%, but the only 5 stars on here are Cloud's 5 stars. You have almost, that's over a 9%, something like a 9% better, or a 9 times better chance of pulling it than you do on the regular tickets. 0.9% as opposed to the regular ticket, which was what, 0.1? Yeah, 0.1. So 9 times better. Oh, a little over 9 times better, I think. These are valuable. You will get them by playing the game, leveling up these characters. This, like, if these are available in future packs, like if there is someday like a featured Lucia thing and it's a $20 pack and it gives you a 10 pull of Lucia tickets or something like that, oh my gosh, jump all over that. If there's guaranteed 5-star character specific weapon tickets, those are going to be a big deal. So for Clouds right here, let's do Clouds because Cloud's obviously one of my main guys. If I can hit a 5-star right here, it's just going to immediately power up my Cloud. It's a character that I'm using. There's not a chance of me like off bannering Barrett or somebody who I'm not running with right now. I'm going to skip the animation. 4-star. 4 stars are still valuable things to pull because, so I pulled the Mithril Saber 4-star. I already have Mithril Saber, so it will convert it into these tickets. I got 10 tickets. It takes 200 tickets to increase the star level of a weapon. It's hard, especially if you don't have character specific or select tickets to pull the specific 5-star weapon that you want. However, you will hit some 4 stars. If you can hit 24 stars, you will have essentially hit another 5-star. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I do think people will build up tickets by pulling 4 stars to enhance their other weapons. Now, let me show you something real quick here. I want to show you again the power of a 5-star All right, so here's Lucia's gun, the Mad Minute. I have the 4-star version of this. It's not a gun I'm using, and guns or weapons in this game have an ability attached to them, and that's kind of how you change your build. Runra Smash is this gun's 4-star ability. It's 400% physical damage, non-elemental to a single enemy. If I was to catch the 5-star version of this, or collect 200 tickets and upgrade this to its 5-star version, the ability becomes Barrage, which is still 400% physical damage with a single enemy, but now a 10% crit rate modifier, and it decreases their magic attack for 15 seconds. You can stack it to keep adding 5 more seconds. It has a high potency at max potency. This is a completely different thing. This gun was just whatever before the 5-star version. It was just stats and a physical single target damage ability. At the 5-star version, it is now a very, very important magic attack debuff, and those are a big deal in this game. When you're fighting a boss who can just like nuke your whole team down with a magic ability, you need to be in defense mode, and it really, really helps if you have debuffed their magic attack or something like that to help you live through it. So you can see how having access to the 5-star version of something completely changes it. Now, yes, it will get more powerful if I get more 5 stars, if I build up even more tickets to keep duplicating it out. It is 200 tickets at every star level to increase. So 5-star is 200 tickets, and then when it turns to red, you get the 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10-star. It stays 200 tickets the whole way. One 5-star duplicate will always get you another star. I have no idea what a 5-star duplicate gets you after you've already maxed the thing out. You might just be able to exchange those tickets in like an exchange shop or something along those lines. Still, there's a good example of why pulling a 5-star weapon is valuable, especially for the characters you want to use. And characters like Aerith and Cloud, especially Aerith and her healing wand, gosh, what's Fairy Tail? It completely changes Aerith. It makes her into the best healer in the game if you have access to that 5-star weapon. And when I do a reroll guide at some point for this game, that will be one of the weapons I recommend people going for who want to push content early. I have it. It gives you access to AoE healing, which you cannot currently get through Materia, and Aerith has it in her limit break, and then like Cloud has it on one of his swords, and I think one other character has it on a weapon, but Aerith is the best healer. Having access to that is just such a big deal. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead, just do the rest of my polls right here because the game ends today, and just run it out and just talk about what I pull and analyze them. I hope this has been a useful video for you. I do think that the gacha system in this game is good. Like, I've played a lot of gachas over the last few years, and this is the most fun one to pull in that I've ever played. I say that because I always get 5 stars, I feel like. It's very, very rare that I do a pull where I do not catch some 5-star. Now, I'm not playing Zac, so the cutlass right here, this might not be something I use. But when you equip weapons in your like sub-weapon slots for your characters, you can equip any character in the game's weapon. So if and you get bonuses from that. So for cutlass, for example, I would not be able to use, if I put cutlass in Lucia's sub slot, I would not get access to destructive swipe. Okay, dang it, I won't get access to that defense debuff that this gives me, but I would get access to physical strength up, the R ability. So that's good, and then maybe this thing scales really well with attack. Maybe I want a weapon with physical strength up, so I could still choose to level this, and then someday when I play Zac, it would be ready for him. But in the meantime, it might be a good sub weapon slot for my characters. Now, I'm not going to single pull all the rest of these single pull tickets that I have, but I will do my Aerith draw and my Lucia draw to see if I can catch a 5-star weapon for them to make my last day playing this game a little bit more powerful. Okay, here we go. Come on. I want to see Cloud walk out in his special gear. So far, I can definitely confirm for you the only thing that has been an indicator for me of a guaranteed 5-star on a pull is if Cloud walks out in a different costume. I have seen everything else, and that's the one thing that has done it for me. So there we go. Okay, last pull video of beta right here. Come on, Cloud, walk out in that samurai gear. Walk out in it. Ah, he didn't. Maybe I'll still get the a blue. Okay, so my last few polls, not the best, but there we go. Thank you guys for watching this. I have a lot more videos coming out before release, and then right before release, I'll try to really synthesize all my best tips into a new player guide, put that out. I'm almost ready to do a tier list, and I'm going to do a character specific tier list, but within that, I'm going to talk about which weapons make those characters as good as they can be. So I look forward to all of that stuff, including I'll do a guide for every character in the game that was in beta anyway, and all of their weapons and what it does for them. So much content to make. The beta's over today, and I'm actually sad. I've been playing way too much of this. All right, thank y'all for watching. Ask any questions you have in the comments section, and if there's anything else you would like to know about the game, add that down there as well. I'll catch you next time. Peace.